Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Daily English Channel. I'm Emma.
And I'm Paul. It's great to see you all again. If you want to improve your real-life English, you've come to the right place.
Today, we have a fantastic episode for you. We are going to explore the world of books. But this isn't just about storytelling. It's a great way to expand your vocabulary.
That's right. In this video, you will learn how to describe book genres, talk about plots, and use specific adjectives for characters. We will also share 2 new idioms that you can use in daily life and give you practical advice on how to choose the right English book for your level.
It's going to be a very useful lesson. But before we open the first page, if you find our lessons helpful, please support us by hitting that subscribe button right now. It really encourages us to keep making these videos for you. Now, let's get into it.
So, Emma, I have to say, looking at you today, I can sense that happy energy I mentioned earlier. You are smiling very big. You seem genuinely excited to discuss today's topic. You must be eager to reveal your number 1 pick. Let's not delay the magic any longer. Emma, tell us, what is your ultimate all-time favorite book?
Paul, you know me well. But honestly, that is such a difficult question. It is a very hard question to answer. I have been reading since I was a tiny little girl. I have hundreds of books that I love for different reasons. Asking me to pick just one is like asking me to choose my favorite star in the night sky. There are millions of stars, and they are all beautiful in their own way. It feels almost impossible to pick just one.
I know. It is a tough challenge. I feel exactly the same way. But try to use your imagination. Imagine you are going to a deserted island. You are all alone, and you can only take one single story with you. Think about one book that you would recommend to absolutely everyone, a book that stays with you forever.
Okay, that is a very good way to think about it. That narrows it down. If I really must choose, if I am forced to pick just one story to keep me company on that island, then one of my very favorite books is Charlotte's Web by E.B. White.
Charlotte's Web. Oh, wow, I know that book very well. It is incredibly famous. It is considered a true American classic, isn't it? I think almost every child in America reads it at school. It's the one about a pig, right?
Yes, you are right. It is an absolute classic. It is a story that people have loved for a very long time, across many generations. And yes, the main character is a little pig named Wilbur. The story begins when he is born on a farm. But right from the beginning, there's a big problem. Wilbur is the smallest pig in the litter.
Wait a second, Emma. That is an interesting word. Can you explain that to our listeners? What exactly is a litter?
That is a great question. A litter is a group of baby animals born at the same time to the same mother. We usually use this word for animals like dogs, cats, or pigs. So you can have a litter of puppies, a litter of kittens, or in this case, a litter of piglets. Wilbur is part of this litter, but he's the runt. He's very small and weak compared to his brothers and sisters.
Ah, I see. So litter is the group of babies. Got it. So Wilbur is the tiny baby pig. What happens to him?
Well, because he is so small, the farmer, Mr. Arable, thinks Wilbur is useless. Unfortunately, he wants to, do something bad to him. He wants to kill the pig because he thinks the pig will never grow big enough to be valuable.
Oh dear, I remember now. That is actually a very sad and dramatic start to a children's story. But I recall that the farmer's daughter saves him, right?
Yes, her name is Fern. She is a true hero in the story. Fern is a very kind-hearted little girl. She sees his potential, his tiny little spark of life. She cries and begs her father, "Please don't kill him. It's unfair." So her father agrees to let him live. Fern saves him and raises him. She even feeds him milk from a bottle like a human baby.
That is so sweet. But I assume he gets too big to live in the house eventually?
Exactly. As Wilbur gets bigger, he cannot stay in the family home. The real story begins when Wilbur is sold to another farm, Fern's uncle's farm. He has to live in a big barn, and there he meets a very special character, a spider named Charlotte.
A spider? You know, Emma, this is the part that always surprises me. Many people are terrified of spiders. Eek! They have 8 legs, they're hairy, and they look scary. How can a pig and a spider be best friends? Usually in cute books, the friends are rabbits, dogs, or maybe a cat.
I know, right? It is a very strange pairing. It goes against what we expect. At first, even Wilbur is afraid of her. He thinks she's gross. But Charlotte is not a normal spider. She's incredibly clever, wise, and kind. She becomes Wilbur's best friend and protector.
That is a lovely message. But why does a big pig need a tiny spider to protect him? That is such a funny idea. A spider is so small. She cannot fight the farmer physically. She cannot lock the door.
It is funny, but that's the beauty of it. She doesn't use muscles or strength. She uses her brain. She uses her intelligence, and she uses her web. You know, the sticky net that spiders make to catch flies? She decides to write words in her web right above Wilbur's head.
She writes words. A spider that can spell. That is a fantastic element of fantasy. It introduces a touch of magic into a very ordinary setting. The farm is normal, the people are normal, but the spider is magical.
Yes, it is a fantasy element. She weaves the words "some pig" into the web. The people who see the web are shocked. They think it's a miracle. They think God is sending a message that Wilbur is a special, holy pig. Because of this, they decide they cannot hurt him. He becomes famous.
So she uses the power of words to trick the humans. She is a very smart friend. She is an intellectual hero.
Exactly. She works very hard, spinning new webs with new words like terrific and radiant to save him. She is the definition of a loyal friend. Do you remember the feeling the book gave you when you read it, Paul?
I read it a long time ago, but I remember it vividly. It made me feel many things. It made me feel happy for Wilbur because he was safe, but it also made me feel a little sad towards the end. I won't spoil the ending for our listeners who haven't read it, but it is very emotional. There's a beautiful, bittersweet quality to it.
Yes, the story has some sad parts, but I think that is why it is so good. Life has sad parts too. The book teaches us about the cycle of life, friendship, and sacrifice. It is a book for children, but the feelings are for everyone.
I agree completely. A good book has no age limit. It speaks to the human condition, no matter how old you are. I think I need to read it again soon.
That's a lovely way to put it, Paul. So, we've established that my favorite is a quiet, emotional story about farm animals. That reflects my personality. I like calm, thoughtful things. Now I'm eager to hear about your choice, Paul. Based on what I know about you, Paul, I expect something a little bigger. Maybe more action.
You know me too well, Emma. You are absolutely right. My favorite book takes us far away from the quiet farm. We are leaving the barn behind. My favorite book is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis.
Oh, I know that name. It is extremely famous. It is a famous fantasy story, right? It is the beginning of a whole new world.
Yes, it is the first published book in the Chronicles of Narnia series. It's about 4 children, Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy. The story is set during World War II. Because of the air raids in London, the children are sent away from the city to stay safe. They go to live in a big, old, mysterious house in the country with an old professor.
That sounds like the perfect start to an adventure. A big house with empty rooms and secret corridors is always exciting in stories.
It is. One rainy day, the children are playing hide and seek. Lucy, the youngest girl, looks for a place to hide. She goes into a spare room that is empty, except for one big thing, a massive wardrobe.
Wardrobe? That is a very specific word. Let's pause for a second, Paul. What exactly is a wardrobe? Is it different from a closet?
Good catch, Emma. Yes, a wardrobe is a large, tall, wooden piece of furniture. It's like a movable cupboard where you hang clothes. A closet is usually built into the wall of a room, but a wardrobe is a piece of furniture you can move, though it is very heavy. So Lucy opens the door and goes inside the wardrobe. She pushes past the soft fur coats hanging there. She walks deeper and deeper, expecting to hit the back of the wooden cabinet.
And does she hit the back?
No, she just keeps walking through the coats. Suddenly, the soft fur changes. It starts to feel hard and prickly, like branches. And then she feels something cold and wet on her face. She looks down and realizes she is standing in snow.
Snow inside a piece of furniture? No way. That is impossible. The laws of physics are clearly suspended.
Yes, the wardrobe is a magical door. It is a portal to a magic world called Narnia.
Narnia. That is such a beautiful, mystical name. What is it like there? Paint me a picture.
It is a land full of talking animals, just like in your book, but even more magical. There are beavers that can cook dinner and talk. There are horses that speak. There are mythical creatures like giants, dwarfs, and fauns.
That sounds amazing and fun. A true escapist's paradise.
It is wonderful. But, like in your story, there is a big problem. A very bad witch, the White Witch, rules Narnia. She is very powerful and cruel. She has cast a spell on the land so that it is always winter, but never Christmas.
Always winter? That sounds freezing. And never Christmas? That is so sad. I love Christmas. No presents, no warm food, no family parties, just cold, dark winter forever?
Yes, it is very sad and depressing. The animals are afraid. The witch turns her enemies into stone statues. But there is hope. There is a prophecy, a prediction, that 4 human children will help defeat the witch. So, Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy become heroes.
They do. They learn to be brave, especially Peter, who becomes a leader. And Edmund, well, Edmund makes some mistakes, but he learns too.
Exactly. And they meet the true king of Narnia, a great lion named Aslan.
A lion? Is he friendly? Lions are usually scary predators. He sounds formidable.
He is strong and powerful. He is a little scary because he is so big and wild. But he is not bad. He is the definition of goodness. He is wise and kind. He cares about Narnia deeply. The children, with Aslan's help, must fight a great battle against the witch to save Narnia.
So it is a story about adventure, war, and being brave, and about good fighting against bad.
Right. So you see, Emma, our favorite books are both about animals, but very different. Yours is about a pig and a spider on a farm. Mine is about a lion and a witch in a magical frozen land.
That's true, Paul. They are very different genres, but what they share is a huge heart. They both remind us that true value isn't always seen on the surface. In my book, Charlotte is a scary-looking spider, but she is nice. In your book, the wardrobe looks like a wooden box, but inside it is a whole world.
That's a great observation. It reminds me of the importance of looking deeper. You know, Emma, this makes me think of a very useful idiom. In The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Aslan is not just a lion. He represents something much bigger. To understand that, you have to read between the lines.
Oh, I love that idiom. Read between the lines. That is a perfect phrase today. Can you explain what it means for our viewers?
Certainly. To read between the lines means to understand the hidden meaning or the real feelings behind what is said or written. It's not about reading the actual text, but understanding what is implied.
Yes. For example, if someone says, "I'm fine," but they look sad and their voice is quiet, you have to read between the lines to realize they are actually upset. In your book, you have to read between the lines to understand that Aslan represents goodness, sacrifice, and a higher power. He is a symbol.
Exactly. Symbolism is when an object or character represents a big idea. Understanding symbolism helps you enjoy English literature so much more.
Now, let's talk about our reading habits. We talked about children's books today, but do you read many fantasy books like Narnia now that you are an adult, Paul?
To be honest, not so many. I used to read fantasy a lot, but recently I have been reading different things. I like stories that feel real, close to life. I also have a secret. I have become a bit of a bookworm for romance novels.
A bookworm. There's our second idiom for the day. That is such a cute phrase.
Yes, a bookworm is someone who loves reading very much. Someone who always has their nose in a book. I am a bookworm for romance stories now.
Really? Romance? Stories about love and relationships?
Yes, I like stories about people meeting, having misunderstandings, and falling in love. They are usually happy stories with a happy ending. I like happy endings. The world can be stressful, so I like my books to be comforting.
I see. That makes sense. My sister loves romance books too. She says they're like a warm blanket on a cold day. My favorite romance book is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen.
Ah, a classic. Everyone knows that name. It's about Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy. But Emma, isn't that book very old? It was written in the 1800s. The English is maybe old-fashioned and difficult. I'm a little intimidated.
The English is a little different. Yes, it uses some older vocabulary, but it is not too difficult once you get used to the rhythm. And the story is so funny and romantic, you forget about the old language. Don't worry, you can do it.
Thank you for the encouragement. But sometimes when I read a hard book, I get distracted. I look at my phone. It feels like I'm reading, and I'm still stuck on the same page.
I know that feeling. We live in a world of distractions, but to finish a book, you just have to focus. Here is a tip. Listening to the audiobook while you read can help.
That's excellent advice. Do you listen to audiobooks often?
Oh, yes. I listen to audiobooks when I cook dinner or when I go for a walk. It's a good way to read when your hands and eyes are busy.
I agree. It's also excellent for English listening practice. You can hear how the words are pronounced by a native speaker. You can hear the emotion in the speaker's voice. Pronunciation and intonation are very important.
Speaking of practical tips, where do you like to read? What is your perfect reading spot?
I like to read in bed before I sleep. It helps my mind relax after a long day. It is quiet and comfortable. Do you ever read in other places, like on a train or a bus?
Yes, I often read on the bus when I go to work. It makes the travel time pass quickly. It turns wasted time into learning time.
Oh, reading on the bus is difficult for me. I get a little sick. My head feels dizzy. Do you use an ebook reader, like a Kindle?
Sometimes, yes, it is very convenient. I can have hundreds of books in one small, light device. It's great for travel, so my bag isn't heavy. But I also love paper books. I love the smell of paper pages, and I like to see the bookmark move through the book. It feels like progress.
Yes, turning the page feels good. There is something special about holding a real book.
Okay, I have an idea. I am ready for a reading challenge. We should try to read something new. I want to challenge you, Paul.
Oh, what is the challenge?
I challenge you to read my favorite romance novel, Pride and Prejudice. You said you like romance, so you have to try the best one.
Okay, I accept your challenge. I will try to read it. But you have to read a fantasy book, too. It's only fair.
It's a deal. I will read a fantasy book. Maybe I will finally read Harry Potter.
Excellent. This is a fun plan. Next time we meet, we can talk about our new books.
This has been incredibly motivating, Paul. Before we wrap up, let's quickly review the new words and concepts we discussed today.
Great idea, Emma. Let's do a quick review of our key takeaways for our learners.
So first, we talked about the word litter. This is a group of baby animals born together like piglets or puppies.
Then we discussed a wardrobe. This is a large standing cupboard for hanging clothes and sometimes a magical door to another world.
We mentioned the genre fantasy. This is a type of story with magic, monsters, and imaginary worlds.
And we talked about classics. A classic book is a book that has been loved for a long time and is considered high quality,
We also learned two useful idioms today. The first one was read between the lines.
which means to find the hidden meaning or feeling that isn't explicitly stated,
And the second idiom was being a bookworm.
which describes a person who loves to read and reads a lot.
Excellent. That was a great review of all the essential words and phrases.
Remember, learning English is a great time to try new books. Start with short books or books you already know in your native language. It will help your vocabulary and grammar in a fun way.
Now it's your turn to practice. We have a question for you today.
Yes, question of the day. What is your favorite book and why do you like it? Or, if you don't have a favorite, what is a book you would like to read in English?
Please tell us in the comments below. It is a wonderful way to practice your English writing. We read every comment.
If you enjoyed our conversation today and learned some new words, please let us know by giving this video a big like.
And don't forget to subscribe to the Daily English channel and click the little bell icon. That way, you won't miss our next video. We have so many more fun topics coming up.
We hope you have a great day and we hope you find a wonderful book to read. Happy reading, everyone.
Goodbye. See you next time.
Bye, everyone. Keep learning.